session for the departments, but and also that we're making sure we come out with concrete ideas and ways for the city to invest. And so relying on her leadership and her guidance to make sure that we have a really productive time as a community. So as soon as that's done, I'll be sending that to you guys, and please, as much as you can, get it out to all your neighbors, your family members, everything, so we can make sure that the OMI in Lakeview has a strong presence there, as we're talking about Invest Black. So that's for that. In addition, the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of increases in COVID positive cases, and the most concerning population is the Latinx community. And so we've been working with DPH to figure out what other resources and tools we have to really outreach and provide support for the Latinx community within our district. We know that many within our community have multi-generational households. A lot of people aren't able to isolate or take time off work if they do get infected. And so we're really trying to get the resources in place so that we can, protect everyone, but then specifically right now target on that community. So if you know of anybody who's in need of food delivery, who hasn't gotten tested yet, who has tested positive, but needs wages so that they can, quarantine safely, or need a hotel room to quarantine safely, please let me know. We are, working with everyone as soon as we get the word about how we can just connect them to resources. So that's been another thing. Let me see what else is coming up. I've been a lot. I don't know. Let me see. Today's Tuesday. A lot of stuff going on with November ballot, but that's just whatever. Yeah, I think, besides that, also stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in District 10. There's been an increase, just in violence and deaths over the last week or so. And so the supervisor and I were working really closely with that district to see what we can do, just provide solidarity and support for families. And yeah, that's it for right now. We are, again, still in the process of budget talks. The mayor hasn't responded to most departments yet in terms of their proposed cut of 10% and whether or not they're going to require an additional 5%. So she has until July 31st to, finalize and release her budget. And then we, as a board of supervisors, begin our, add back internal process. And just to reaffirm, we are, fighting hard to make sure that the level of service stays the same within our district. And any cuts that do occur, when we go through the add back process, that's what the priority is going to be. It's not going to be for new requests unless they're COVID recovery related, but it's going to be going towards, making sure that we restore funding to programs that are lost. And so please, if you guys get word or anything from your funding departments regarding any cuts or anything, just let me know so that we can be able to support and move quickly. And then, yeah, I know Renard he's at Merced Heights, and I talked to the new PM, Eric, over there. And so we're trying to get these projects completed as quickly as possible. We are trying to have some very safe, very small ribbon cuttings with like 10 members or fewer present. And so we'll keep you updated on that so you can watch virtually. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. And then, yeah, business as usual in terms of moving forward projects. Thank you, Laura, for submitting, applications last week for speed humps. I did connect you with Nick Carr, who's handling that traffic calming effort. And we did propose 2 more today for Farallons, 2 speed bumps of Farallons between Orizaba, Capitol, and then Capitol and Plymouth, so that we can, reduce the speed on that street as well. So that's it. And then finally for SFUSD, they're still in the works about, how they're planning to reopen this fall. Today's the 7th. They are having 2 more town halls for families and community this week. And so if you haven't had a chance to, check those out or give your input, please do. And so that's it for me. And if there are any questions or concerns that community wants to share, I'm more than happy to listen.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Monica?
don't have a question, but I did want to to let you know that my daughter went by Broad Street this morning, and the paint that DPW used doesn't match up to the paint that was originally used on the banner.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll definitely look into that, check that out.
I just wanted to thank the supervisor for getting dressed. I assume that at midnight he wasn't all dressed, to come back out and make sure that it stopped before more damage occurred. And then to quickly see that it was repainted.
Right.
I still think the community deserves answers, real answers on who signed off on this and how this occurred, especially on a holiday weekend at the hour it occurred.
Mhm.
And what was I gonna say? I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh, I just wanted to say it's not like it hadn't occurred already in Bernal Heights. Something like this, you know, happened on the rock on Bernal Heights when it was removed, the mask and everything. And so it's like not the first time. And so these things I don't think can just be, you know, left unanswered.
Right.
So I think the community really needs someone to step up and take the responsibility and make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else, because this really seems like a racist act to me and hateful to Invest Black and what it means. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll definitely work on getting those answers. Was there anyone else that had a question or a concern? Ms. Mary Evelyn?
I didn't hear if you were they were talking about the speed bumps for Capitol between Broad and Sagamore, or between you.
I will look into that. The two that we put in additional requests today was for Farallons between Plymouth and Capitol, then Capitol and Orizaba. But I will check on what was
Capitol and Sagamore I caught in my application, Monica.
Okay, perfect.
So it'd be a total of 4, 200 Arch, Sagamore, and Capitol, and the 2 that you added today.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
I will look into that. Thank you, Ms. Mary Evelyn. One question I did want to pose to you all is, I know we've been having our weekly CBO meetings and we've been having special guests and all that jazz. At this point in time, I'm kind of losing my imagination on who else to invite or what else to talk about. Did you all have any ideas or things you want to talk about so we can keep these fresh? Or what are some priorities or issues you want to learn about so it can be a productive time for everyone?
Anyone?
Monica, I just maybe something on DPW, not like outside of what happened. It's like because that department has gone through so much this past couple months, I feel like I kind of lost the process of who are my point people to talk to when things aren't getting done. And yeah, like who is like a lead, like do they have leads for the district? Just kind of like a reintroduction of like who do we need to talk to when 311 calls aren't getting responded to, or when we want to propose new ideas. With the thing with the Muhammad, you know, all this, I feel like I've lost a few of my contact people that I like normally would reach out to.
Okay, no, that's a great idea. Thank you. Yeah, I'll reach out to them right away. Anyone else besides DPW?
That's just one idea, but
more, please share.
Email Monica. What's your email address? Could you put that in the chat?
Sure, I will put that. All right, she's like, I gotta move along. We got things to talk about.
No, go ahead. Take the hour.
No, it's okay. No, DPW is a good lead for this week, so I'll see if I can get them for Thursday. All right. But yes, if you guys have any other ideas or whatnot, I want to make sure that these are useful, productive times for everyone. And so, like, please let me know, you know, what other topics, guests, things that we should have when we hold this space together. All right.
All right. Very
Yes.
good.
Thank you, everyone, for your time, for your energy, for your love and commitment, and your passion for our community. And we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Daniel. Oh, no, wait, not Daniel. Stop. Don't do it. Laura, you got anything? Padilla?
I do. I
Okay.
do. So I heard last week from MOHCD. They're doing a 1-year funding. I don't know if some of you guys are in the same boat, but we got is with the MOHCD funding, they gave some grantees a full year of funding. And they gave also some with 25% funding. So our collaborative work for Excelsior and OMI, the D11 collaboratives, are getting 25% of their budget back for the next 3 months. And so this helps us continue to have the funding to operate, continue to pay any meeting costs that we have. It will also, once I have the solid number, be able to launch a small OMI community action grant cycle again. So I'm waiting for the final number and for our contract for that 25% to be final, and for me to have a solid amount of what I could, what we could put aside for the community action grants. So that is moving. That helps us, just continue our work and not have such a big pause in our cycles, which is hard. When we start later and try to get everybody's projects done within a certain amount of time. So we are going to be rolling. I'm hoping to have more answers by next Tuesday about the solid amount. And then we can have a discussion here as a group. How much of this do we want to set aside for community action grants? How much do we want to set aside for maybe a big group project? And also kind of looking at some of our annual events that usually happen in August and September and how we want to re-strategize those, since I'm sure we'll still be limited to big gatherings.
Okay.
To smaller gatherings too.
Okay.
So what months are we talking about? August, September, October, or what 3 months are we talking?
August,
Yeah.
September, October.
And then we'll find out in increments, like another 3 months, another 3 months, or what?
I'm hoping that by the next 3 months that we could guarantee our full grant back.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been working with Monica, and at this point they've said, just continue to talk to your MOHCD, your program officers, to Michael King and to Eric, who are all now in the loop of our grant, informed that we are waiting for them to give us the final 100% that we have this grant. So we got 25% as they wait to hear from the mayor. They say it's all sitting with the mayor's office, or the mayor's budget. So I will take the 25% and continue to work to advocate to get the full 100. So we have a full year of funding, or whole 5 next years of funding.
Do we need to do anything about that? Do we need to send a letter to the mayor of the importance of this fund for both the Excelsior and the OMI, or?
I know Delia sent an email to Michael King. I think that is helpful. I have a draft that I could send you all to send out. But what we've gotten and what Monica's told me, I was like, it's sitting in the mayor's budget right now, and we just wait. Is what she said. And so I was like, okay, well, let me, we could do letters. I think that's a great way to advocate.
I
so
think we could do an OMICC letter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think we should just be quiet about it.
Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need to stress the importance of that funding to our community.
Okay.
Laura, did you say that some groups got 100% funding right away?
Yeah, they were there was a lot of the workforce development programs that got it. I could forward you that email right now that I got, and it has a list of who got the 100%, and then it lists everybody else is getting 25%.
Yeah, I'd just like to see it. It'd be interesting to see what their rationale was. I mean, workforce development, I get it. But if there's other groups, why some of us got 25 and some got 100?
Yeah, I looked at that. I was trying to find out too, and it looked like the ones that got 100% were workforce development programs. That's the trend that I saw, but I'll more than gladly move this along your way and to share it with everybody, and you guys can look at that list.
That helps. Thank you.
All right. That's, well,
And that is all I have. Yeah.
that's something. I can post a draft and then we can set up another meeting. Is there a day that's good for everyone to meet, the Zoom meeting for the mayor's letter? Should we wait 2 weeks or should we wait a week? Wait a week? We should do it this week? Yes, yes.
I think we should, yeah,
All right.
get the letter moving this week, and then I'm gonna see what the 25% looks like, and
Okay.
then yeah, because I've been told to wait for that 25%, see what that looks like, and then respond.
Okay, that's great. So we'll work on that. We'll work on that this week. Is there a preference for days to meet? Anyone? Friday, Thursday of this week?
Thursday's good for me.
Anybody else? Check your schedule and put it in the chat.
Thursday's not good for me.
Okay. Friday? We'll figure it out. Okay. Good suggestion. Daniel, do you have anything? Are you still on the call, Daniel Holmesy? All right, maybe not. Okay, I have, Maurice, do you have any updates?
I do. Besides the weekly Cayuga Community Connectors Vigil happening this Thursday at the Geneva Car Barn from 5 to 6 p.m., the only other thing that I have is a community input meeting on reallocation of funds from SFPD. And that's not specific to D11, that's the whole city. And I will put that link in the chat right now. And that's tonight at 5:30.
That's the one you have to pre-register for, correct?
Correct.
Now, yeah, can you forward? Yes.
Maurice, can you verify the time for the Vigil of Justice? Because I participated last Thursday and they were talking about changing the time when there was more traffic because they felt 5 to 6 was less traffic than a little bit earlier. So they were talking about changing the time, but I haven't heard anything since then.
Yeah, I'll verify that with Glinda or Patty at Cayuga Community Connectors tonight, just to make sure.
Okay, thanks. And then when will we get the flyer? For what, you're gonna do the flyer with Monica?
Yeah, we're still working on that. So I'm still waiting to get some info from her.
About the town hall, right? Yeah.
Right. So once I get all that info from her, I'll have that sent out. The mayor may or may not be joining. So hopefully she will. That'll be very exciting.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Helen put in a link for the library commissioners meeting.
Yes, there will be a special meeting this Thursday. And so that's the link to the PDF, and then I will also send, let me see. Here's the link to the agenda, and then I believe the link to the meeting will be available very soon on this website.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Monique and Mary, when did you want to meet for the early childhood OMI group?
I know we have a Thursday at 1:30. But any other time, we're open.
Okay.
Right? I'm sorry, Mary, I just spoke for you.
she says fine. All right. Very good.
Lynn or Helen, I have a question on the commissioners meeting. Is that one specifically to the Ingleside Library, or is it just a general meeting?
The meeting will be focused on the phased reopening plans for the San Francisco Public Library System as a whole.
Oh, wow.
So last month they presented a bunch of kind of plans for what was going to be called SFPL to go. There was a budget presentation as well, and the commission asked for further information about which branches might be beginning to have curbside pickup and what the safety was going to look like and all that stuff. So this is a special meeting that is really going to be about the phased reopening. So it's not going to be specific to the, the OMI neighborhood. But as you might already know, Ocean View was not one of the branches that is initially being suggested as a curbside pickup place. So if people feel that, that if they have concerns about that, it might be a good idea to write in or call in, if that's something that you want to discuss.
All right. Lynn, I have a question.
Yeah, by all means.
What happens to the money that was set aside for the new library? Is it like set aside? Is it really set aside, or does it have leaks at the bottom? No, like a sack of, like, can it be removed or moved to different projects?
I'd have to look at what the budget spreadsheet for the library itself has. I do think that money was taken back out, but I could be wrong. I know that the mayor put a freeze on all the capital projects, so I can't say for sure until I look really closely. The commission, the website has all of the documentation, though. It's all sunshineable, so it's all public information, so you can look in and see if it was just frozen or if it was kind of absorbed back in to the budget to kind of offset the, I don't know, the dramatic cuts that the mayor's been asking all the city departments to make. So yeah.
I think we should ask the supervisor's office to look into this.
Okay.
This was initially his idea. He should follow up on this.
Okay. I'll send her an email.
Yeah.
I had another question about the library. Is there any option for us to have a bookmobile?
Gosh, I don't know that. Not that I know of.
I
It's
think
been
that's
really
another thing we need to testify about. I did last month.
Okay.
Said that was the bare minimum that we should have, and that we have a lot of school children and low income, and we need the use of our library, and we need to have it curbside pickup, and we need to have a bookmobile.
Yep.
But this is not something that's automatic. This is something you have to lobby for.
Advocate. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lynn.
Sure. I'm sorry I didn't have the budget spreadsheet right here in front of me.
No.
I can definitely get that, and I can send it to you, Delia, and you can disseminate it. I can send it to you, Mary. I have a bunch of people's emails. So, there we go. Helen just put a link up to the budget plan, and we can look and see what exactly they did do to that. I mean, the monies that they had set aside for the capital project for the Ocean View, library, the regional hub, that was part of the 21-22 budget for the most part. But I know that there was a certain amount that was in the FY 2020 budget. And I don't know what they did with that until I look through this.
Okay.
Okay, Delia, you have the screen open.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Lynn, let me know if I need to change the page.
Yeah, go ahead and change the page. Attachment 1, detail investment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go down to the next page. You know what? I will look at it offline.
Okay.
And because oftentimes I need to print these things out
Yes,
in like
old
really
school, right?
big. I need to print them out on like 8.5 by 11 so I can actually read all the fine print.
Right. No problem.
But I will look at that and I'll definitely get back to you on that. I think one of the concerns that I have about the curbside situation is that if they're looking at opening up branches that they don't have to utilize our delivery infrastructure, meaning if I place a hold on a book to go pick up a book, it should be a book that's already on the shelf at the branch. So we know that Ocean View, of course, already has the smallest collection of all the entire system. So I don't know that we're just at an extra disadvantage because of that.
Okay.
It's like sort of starting out a little bit behind already.
Right.
Because we had such a small collection. I don't know exactly. I'm not privy to the decision making behind which branches they elected to start curbside delivery at.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it through on my own here. So
No worries.
We're doing my best.
We all are doing our best.
Yeah.
For sure, with the limited information and limited resources. Anyone have any questions or comments or things that we need to work on for the future?
I just want to say I wanted to respond to Laura's comment about the childcare. I had the bookmobile come to the school once a month, and the librarian reached out and said they actually, due to budget cuts, stopped all bookmobiles to all childcare.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Any other questions? Comments? Felicia, how is your meal program going?
We are serving about 130 seniors a week. The majority of that delivery happens on Thursday, some on Tuesdays, and that's been consistent. We have went beyond our contract for the year, so we're waiting on DOS to talk about either moving our number up or what exactly and how we're going to do it. We were originally contracted for 40 meals, and then COVID happened and we went to the home delivered meal model. And so we are 3 times more than what we were contracted for.
Okay.
I don't know that does mean that they move the number up, or do we refuse people? So I mean, I know I have a veteran, Patty, on the line, so I could probably, get some insight into her. I was just told this by Project Open Hand that they've over contracted the meals, and that I need to make contact with DOS about the number, because they're steady and we're still adding 3 and 4 people every week.
Okay.
A lot of good foot traffic has happened because we are giving away the fruit and veggie boxes. So we're getting like 3 different kinds sometimes during the week, giving away almost 200 boxes a week. And those additional people who may not actually be seniors, when they're stopping by, they're at the stop sign or on the bus, and they get off and they get a meal box, they didn't go home and tell their parents. So we're getting a lot of referrals just from the curbside delivery happening with the fruit and veggie boxes.
Very good. Very good.
A lot of people are missing our little hot prepared meal that they were getting 3 times a week. We've been getting a lot of calls about that. I so want to work and partner with, get some partners in the agency and open up this kitchen so that we could cook some culturally sensitive, healthy option meals for the the seniors who frequent here. And people tend to think when we're Black people that when we're saying we want food, it always means macaroni, cheese, and candy yams and fried chicken. But it actually doesn't always mean that. They're looking at, even when we have a salad, when we were with Central Latino, they only want to put Black beans in the salad, and our seniors want black-eyed peas and kidney beans, and because those are, African American staple. And so those kinds of things, I really am kind of talking up what could we do to lively this central kitchen that gets a health inspection, fully equipped, made by the community and rebuilding together, and how we could kick this off and become not so much that I want to serve meals to other people, but just to be able to bring that culturally sensitive meal to the seniors. Because today someone was working with me on a grant, and I had to get these client testimonies, and what we saw was that the seniors said, thank you for not forgetting about us during this COVID, because we went from congregate to there, and congregate to their home delivered meals. And that really touched me in the way of thank you for not forgetting about us, because the numbers of the African American seniors so few and mighty, but they're a lot of the original residents, so they're vested and have stake. And it's like, we might be small and mighty, but we're still here. And by delivering that meal and not just signing them up for delivery and ringing their doorbell and having that weekly contact, they're like, oh, thank you. Like, they're waiting, their doors are open, and they're waiting on us. So
yes,
I'm really happy to be providing that service, no matter what it takes out of us to deliver the meals weekly. My staff here, we're very few in numbers. It's really me, Mike, and Joyce, and then EJ comes and saves the day with the big truck and helps me with the 40-50 person load. But it is a beautiful thing. But we do need to try to get some access to some culturally competent food or culturally sensitive food for the seniors that I serve. They'll eat anything because they just want to make, not their stomachs to growl, but if they had their way, they want to see some collard greens on a plate and stuff like that. And I want to make it for them.
Very good. That's good. We need more money coming. More money for this meal program. Hey, Jackie, can you give us a little update on the Park and Rec, if you have one?
I don't have any updates. We just following the guidelines as they come out, like everybody else.
Right.
our park, ML Minnie and Lovey's park is open for the public to use, not the playground, but the field.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice people on the field, they can be out there.
Right.
But no, we haven't heard any news on when we're going to open up the playgrounds. We are actually, we're programming, we're doing summer day camps. I think we have about 14 summer day camps that we're doing throughout the city. Disaster, and the way it was set up was they set it up as under registration where disaster workers got first choice for their kids. So we thought that was great to be able to do something like that. We have a lot of neighborhood kids. The program over at Minnie and Lovey is going strong and well. So we're trying to hang in there and trying to provide service for the kids.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Laura, can you provide like a little update on the food situation? Like the milk, the dairy, and what Excelsior?
Yeah, so Excelsior, well, I guess Excelsior Works on 5000 Mission has opened up, slowly opening up. Friday was the first day that they kind of made it public, is a pantry. So we're calling it a D11 pantry, Excelsior pantry. There's a few names. I see it as a D11 pantry. And we are collaborating with the 701 Hub, Mission Hub, and they're working with different agricultural farms out of Sacramento, out of the Central Valley, here in the coastline, in getting boxes. And I think that's where, Felicia, you might be getting the extra boxes that EJ picks up, might be coming out of the 701 Hub. And so we're just trying to coordinate. So the big semis are going to 701 in the Mission. It's on 19th in Alabama, and they're open Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And they have fruit, vegetables, all types of produce, and milk. This week we're seeing kind of a big drop in the semi trucks for milk, so we're trying to assure that we can have enough for tomorrow. But that has come out as a big need. What else? Yeah, so we're trying to work with 701 Hub, who has the semis coming to them, and they have a giant warehouse. And because they have the space to do the big semi unloading, they've been doing it there. And myself and a few other community people have been going there and trying to figure out how to get it from the hub to the southeast side of town. So, I've given some boxes to Delia and families on our side of the OMI that I know are in need of food and can't get to 701 Hub or can't get to any of our other food banks. Been dropping off produce and just general pantry items to them. So it's very similar, if you guys have seen what Felicia's got, some produce boxes and some milk. Sometimes there's chicken. But working with 701 Hub, working with that new Excelsior pantry and trying to get food to the southeast side of the, our D11 district. What else? We do have diapers. Diapers, if you have any requests for diapers, Community Well is working with the kind of Excelsior community. And then our person is Felicia, has also said if we have any donations of diapers, they could go to IT Buckman. But also our Family Resource Center in the OMI is also a diaper hub. So I talked to them last week, and they are not requiring any type of documentation. They are doing it from 9 to 12 on Tuesdays. So if you guys get a community member, haven't asked for diapers, it's from 9 to 12 on Tuesdays at the OMI FRC on Broad. Okay. So yeah, the pantries, they said, is going well. I asked them if they needed, if they're turning people away for food, and they said no, not as of now. They have enough food, and nobody's walking away without food, so that's great. So, if you guys are seeing a need, I feel like we're turning people away here in the OMI, let me know, and I could move more boxes over to the OMI of produce and milk.
Slide some of that meat this way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that chicken is tricky. Every now and again, I get a box and I'm like, and then trying to get rid of it right away because I don't have refrigeration. So I know Delia has, been able to hold some milk for me. We've given a few milk out to the Longfellow community. Another update is, I don't know if you guys heard, but Longfellow lost their food meal program last week. So Longfellow is, Crocker, Amazon, OMI, it's where Delia is, it's outer side of Mission. But our families got sent to Dunman and got turned away at Dunman because there wasn't enough. And so they serve 300 units a week. And so trying to figure out with SFUSD how to make sure that these families are not turned away this week. So with the help of Delia, we're giving 30 families that are from that list food this Wednesday. But if, again, just constantly, and what SFUSD said yesterday, they're going from 2 days to 1 day of meal, like supper. So there's a lot of changes happening in food access, I feel like, have come these next 2 days. So if you guys hear anything or need food, connect through this group, connect through me. And I've been trying to navigate, make sure that our families and seniors all have some sort of access, whether it's through the food bank or, the work that a lot of community members are doing through deliveries and
I wanted to speak to that. I remember I did some work down in the Tenderloin, and they get a lot of donations from a lot of different companies, agencies, citywide, local, state, between Glide, St. Anthony's. And when they formed their food justice committee, they were able to better work together on the donations, which is something Patty and I often speak about making sure that some families aren't getting 2 and 3 and some families are getting none.
Right.
That some kind of way, maybe it's this group, or I'm not sure how, but as the resources dry up, the needs aren't. The needs are actually even getting worse as we're seeing them, because just access in this community that we could probably, especially in District 11 with such an active supervisor and this OMICC and all the other networks, really meet offline just around food access and clients, and tighten that up so that we could make sure that we're working smarter and not harder, and that nobody's being left out, and some people are receiving 2 and 3 veggie boxes or 2, all the meat, or just because some people deliver boxes to us when their people aren't home, and I just happened to open a box because it had been here for 2 days, and when I opened it up, there was fresh meat, like 4 or 5 packs of meat, and it went bad because I didn't even know that meat was in there, and it just made me go, well, where are these boxes coming from? And so just tightening that up so that we're serving the community. It's enough for everybody to serve someone, but maybe we could, talk about that a little more. Not so much today, but just in the future. I know you're on a time frame, and I see it's already 2:00, but
no, that's good. I will send in
agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree for this. Sorry, I would agree for this. Yeah. Because I haven't been hearing too much, and I don't have much connections with the Sheridan and the Jose Ortega families, or like the schools in this side in the OMI. So if you guys have connections where the social worker at Jose Ortega, or I've sent out some emails waiting for some responses, but other than the families that I've been connected with, and there's about 25 families here in the OMI that I've been dropping food off to, my list hasn't increased for the OMI. So if you have family neighbors, I could share that list and we can start dumping names onto the list. Seniors, families, single adults needing food access, we could put them on that list. So we could get resources.
And
you know, I'm not sure if I'm speaking for Patty, but I know for myself, if there's seniors that's located down here off of the Randolph Street, I'm really not trying to just throw them on the delivery list. I'm trying to be introduced to seniors, because what I'm finding is we're dropping off meals and sometimes just ding dong and hey, you know, here's the box. But if we're not asking the questions, we're finding that, you know, there's all these other great needs. We happen to have helped some of our seniors get their stimulus check just by a conversation. They were very angry and, you know, saying a lot of things about the 45. And so I was like, okay, so you didn't get a stimulus? And no, and everything is shut down. And those little 2-minute conversations made me come back here, then get on the phone and get them on the phone and go to the IRS website to like track down where their money is and find out that there's that portal for non-filers, people who may be homeless. And I got 4 checks here in my that got delivered today, and that is a beautiful thing, because it's one of the ladies who sleep at the bus stop out here in front or around the corner. I was giving her the hot delivered meals, and she's getting a stimulus. I keep trying to call her phone, I can't find her, to let her know that it actually came here. So I try not to only just make sure that we're delivering food, but just asking a question and showing that we could care, or that we could connect them to the resources. So just putting that out there. I don't want to just throw you names, because it's purposeful why I don't have a lot of the seniors on the food delivery, because we're getting to put our eyes on them and have a conversation. And to get a $1,200 check is like all the world of a difference, when they were just going to assume that they weren't eligible and that they had nothing coming. No matter what the news say and in all the media, a great deal of our seniors still had not entered their non-filers information in. So,
well, that you're being intentional, right? You're being intentional and linking them to services that they need, that they may have been neglected. Let's see, Maurice, did you have an announcement? No,
nothing on my end.
Okay, so thank you, Felicia, and thank you, Laura.
So I got something, Delia.
Yes, go, Patty.
I just put it in the chat too, but we do have our Aging and Disability Resource Center over at the Catholic Charities OMI Senior Center at 65 Beverly. And I put in Jennifer's phone number, because she can help people also with services that they need and getting connected if they need some additional help. And that's what she specializes in. So that's helpful. And she speaks multiple languages.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if it's on this chat or a different chat, but we have all of our backpacks have arrived. All of our stuff is here to assemble some kits to hand out. So
yeah, we do.
We can help out, Patty, if we can pick up some stuff. I have one senior coming for a couple hours in the morning and another coming for a couple hours in the day to help me assemble some bags, because they told me that they just need to get out of the house. So I'm just having one for 2 hours, and then in the afternoon another come down to make some bags. So we could help out a lot.
well, I think we need to pick a day where we could, using social distancing, do like an assembly line and just go through. The staff's been setting it all up, but I thought, you know, as a group, we wanted to kind of do this. And so we could date like next Friday instead of when our normal.
We were trying to get the new volunteers too to get involved in this.
Yes.
So we were going to wait just a little bit more and get the new volunteers and initiate them, and then do a little spiel about ongoing
activities,
notices for heat waves or anything else that might come along in our community.
I think it's in loop. I think we were trying to do it within the next 2 weeks. It's per our last meeting. It was it was in the middle of July. So we're on track. It's just a matter of what the report is from David and David's push.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna hold it for right now, Patty. Is it all right in its spot?
Yeah. I just want to pick a date before too long because at some point we're looking at opening up the adult daycare.
Okay. When?
Probably not till the 1st of August, so I'd like to get it done before that.
All right.
Maybe you and David can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. The other thing is that the conversation with the mayor today at 5:30. The register link is in the chat box, so click on that and register. Anything else?
Delia, I had a chance to look at the budget real quick. And so I just wanted to share that initially the capital project, remember it was just a renovation, right? It wasn't the building of a whole new building. So they had initially allocated 10.5 or 10 million, right? So that had been from previous budget years. So we still have that.
Okay.
And then the idea was to set aside in FY 2021, 22, another 8, and then round it off with another 13.
Okay.
But because of the mayor's request that all the capital projects freeze, they did have to put a hold on it. But what it looks like they did is the Chinatown branch got 2.5 million for FY21 to put towards their renovation. And Ocean View branch got 2.5 million, also the same exact amount as Chinatown, to further the project, or just to kind of put a pause on it. So the only building that's going to go forward is going to be the Mission branch, because that one was already kind of underway.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't sure about what had happened to the money that had previously been allocated, but that money is still there for us, from what I can tell.
Okay.
It's just, they just equally said, we're going to, instead of giving 8 million, we're going to give 2.5. And they did the exact same thing for Chinatown. Instead of whatever the amount was, 2.5.
Okay.
So just wanted to make sure that I was clear. Sorry about that.
No worries. No, that's good. That's good. Any other questions? All right, I'll send a meeting invite for the food access. Looks like we need a meeting about the mayor's letter. And I think that's it. Maybe a meeting about the Invest Black, figuring out what you want to say in the meeting next week. That may be another meeting, just to get all the ideas out on the table. If you want to do it in this forum, or use the other group's forum. All right.
Can we just do this next Tuesday? I'm just getting
yeah,
Zoom fatigue here. I have a lot of other Zoom meetings already.
I know.
I really don't want to add any more.
Okay, we can do that. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, everybody. See you later.
Thanks, Julia.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.